Hey, had a couple up there in the wonderful town of Haleville from the Pathway Church. Decided to go eat some Chinese food. Decided to have a cheat meal the other day. And it made them very, very, very sick. And, you know, that done sparked an idea that I needed to share a little more information with you. You know what, by design, we're not about treating your weight symptom. And you don't have a weight problem, you have a weight symptom. Your diabetes is a symptom. Your high blood pressure is a symptom. The majority of every health issue you have is just a symptom of a consumption-based hormone problem. In other words, the foods that I eat, the foods that I don't eat, cause my hormones to get out of whack and causes my body to react to foreign substances in a way that causes these symptoms, like a hardening of the arteries, which result in heart attacks and strokes. So the abundance of sugar in the blood and the insulin no longer being effective, that the cells become desensitized to the insulin. Pretty much they just ignore the hormone insulin. That's how we end up with ADHD in our children. That's how we end up with Alzheimer's and dementia, type 2 diabetes. That's how we end up with cancer. The majority of our illnesses are based around our insulin levels staying too high all the time. So what we do at By Design, we treat the issue, the problem. Now, the problem is our insulin levels stay up, and we know that things like simple carbohydrates, the corn, the potatoes, the rice, the sugar, and the flour, the over-pulverized grain, the genetically modified grain that is the only kind of grain you can get today. That's the reason we totally avoid it. We realize that those things cause a super spike in our insulin levels. But did you know that there are other things that cause huge spikes in your insulin? I want to talk about those things. So we're trying to control 4 hormones: insulin, leptin, ghrelin, and cortisol. Now your estrogen and your testosterone are things we have to deal with as we get older. I mean, if you're over 40 years old, at 18 to 20 years old, you are a fat burning machine. Those hormones are crazy. They're working just like they should unless you have some kind of issue. You know, and I just want to mention this. A lot of your thyroid problems, your hypothyroidism, your thyroid not working right, is just also a symptom, not a problem, is also a symptom to the bad diet, to the diet outside of the realm that God prescribed for us. And that's what By Design is all about. It's about getting back to how God created these wonderful machines, fearfully and wonderfully made, these wonderful bodies to work. So we're trying to control those 4 hormones, and that's what we do. That's the reason that we are so incredibly successful at getting people off blood pressure medicine and diabetes medicine in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. Insulin, leptin, ghrelin, and cortisol. And I've done some videos on that, but those are the hormones that we're looking at. But insulin is the most important and the most vital to control. But there are some ingredients out there that are outside of carbohydrates that cause an insulin spike. And this one ingredient is prominent in Chinese food. It's called monosodium glutamate, or MSG. Did you know that MSG will increase your insulin levels by 300%? Now, what does MSG do? What it does is it dilates your taste bud and makes things taste a lot better. I mean, I know, man, my daddy loves some Chinese food. He loves a Chinese buffet. I got my mama on the By Design plan, and they have a lot of arguments over not going to the Chinese buffet anymore. She told me about that the other day. But what it does, it dilates those taste buds, and then everything tastes great, and you just eat. Well, what happens when your insulin levels spike? Well, you can eat 3 times as much food as your stomach can hold, and still within 30 to 45 minutes be hungry again. Because what happens? Your insulin will drive your blood sugar down, and when your blood sugar goes down, your body goes into panic mode for food. So, and that's the result. It's always up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Insulin up, blood sugar down. Insulin up, blood sugar down. Insulin up, blood sugar down, until your cells get desensitized from the insulin, the effect of the insulin, and then the insulin goes up, your cells say, no, no, I'm not listening to you no more. And that's when we become pre-diabetic and then type 2 diabetic. But that's just really easy to fix. So monosodium glutamate, MSG, is a powerful substance, a powerful man-made substance that increases your insulin level by 300%. Well, what do you think happens when your insulin levels spike and then you crash? You get sick. It's a horrible feeling. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Man, if you're going to have a cheat day, have you some almond flour, some coconut flour, some sweet potatoes, some all-natural stuff. Now, I know this excludes you from going out to eat some, but let me tell you something. If you stop going out to eat, you're going to save a lot of money. If you buy chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts, you're going to save a whole lot of money. If you stop buying snack cakes, Coca-Colas, Mountain Dews, and potato chips and start buying all natural garden food and all natural meat, what's going to happen? Your total cost for this lifestyle is so much less. You spend so much less money on food. So let me go one time. Monosodium glutamate dilates the taste buds, makes food taste better, but in return spikes your insulin level by 300%. Also, a lot of the Mexican food is loaded down. A lot of the food at every restaurant is loaded down with that because they want it to taste as good as possible. Now, the thing you got to be careful of is what they do is they begin to rename things. It's like people get worried about sugar, so they come up with 56 different names for sugar. How jacked up is that? Who wants to sit around and learn 56 different names for sugar? Somebody needs to find Mr. FDA and bust him in his mouth. He's just a little pawn or a spawn of Satan out here trying to destroy people. And I'm not playing either. It's jacked up. People sick, overweight and sick. Just sick. Man, it makes me mad. Anyway, Jesus called me to bring the gospel of nutrition, the abundant life through eating right. So if you see something with modified cornstarch, guess what that is? MSG. Hydrolyzed vegetable protein, MSG. Hydrolyzed yeast protein, MSG. Hydrolyzed soy protein, MSG. Let me tell you what doesn't have MSG in it. Broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, cucumbers, squash, okra. That stuff doesn't have MSG in it. Olive oil. Food that is described by one ingredient should make up the majority of your diet. You follow me? And season the stew out of it. Nobody's told you you can't enjoy your food. But I wanted to share this with you so now you understand. Is cheating worth it? Absolutely not. It's not worth it. If you want to have a cheat day, message me and I'll send you a healthy cheat meal. Before you go to McDonald's and load up on French fries and a Big Mac loaded down with this jacked up ingredients that are going to be detrimental to your health. You know. So what do we got to do? We got to be careful. Food label ninjas. So besides the maltodextrin and besides anything that ends in OSE, any of the dextrose and whatever kind of oats they got, or anything that ends in LO, the maltitol and all that stuff, any of that stuff, any of the maltodextrin, be careful to avoid foods that have modified, or have monosodium glutamate, MSG, modified cornstarch, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, hydrolyzed yeast protein, or hydrolyzed soy protein. And that also, just one other little small tip, the oils. I heard a guy make a video about how good canola oil yesterday. If I could have reached through and grabbed his little nose and twisted it real hard to straighten him out, I would have. But I tried and I couldn't get through the screen. I started to blast him, but I couldn't find the video this morning. Genetically modified oils, or any oil outside of olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, butter, real butter, not margarine. If it's in a tub, it's bad. And next year, you're not going to be able to find it because the FDA finally done something right. And animal fat, bacon grease. It's not genetically modified, and that stuff's good for you. So listen, be careful. Read your labels. if you're in doubt, take a pic and send it to me. I'll tell you. And the reason I want you to send it to me is I want to show you why it's bad. That way, because if I can give you the knowledge, you know, then I can get you on a plan and I can move on and spend time with the next fella. Anyway, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray that God bless you richly the only way you can be blessed. By who? By his only born son, Jesus the Christ. Y'all have a good day.